Hello everyone, this is Showtime 112. Today we're flying a mission in Su-25 and the mission is based on Soviet experience in Afghanistan. As you may know, Soviets intervened in Afghanistan between 1979 and 1989. It didn't end up all that well for the Soviet Union, but the thing we're interested in today is the role of Su-25, known as Frogfoot, in this conflict. Now, it was included in action since very early years of the conflict. Initially, in 1980, a couple of prototypes were sent to be tested under actual combat conditions. And in 1981, the first operational unit of Su-25 was deployed to Shindan Air Base, Afghanistan. That was the 200th Independent Attack Squadron, and we will fly as part of that unit today. It's a 2-airplane flight, and we are about to take off. Beginning takeoff. Now let's continue. Most missions flown by the 200th Independent Attack Squadron were pre-planned missions against Mujahedeen fortified positions or against some warehouses, storage locations and such. Very often they attacked various caves which Mujahedeen used to hide, to store their material and whatever. Now, unfortunately, we cannot simulate that in DCS. There aren't any caves as far as I can tell. But we can simulate attacks on fortified positions. And today our main task is to destroy a couple of bunkers that overlook a highway near Kandahar. And from those bunkers, Mujahedeen are harassing Soviet supply lines. Our main weapon are S-24 large caliber rockets. Our secondary weapon are S-8 medium caliber rockets. They will be used to knock out any anti-aircraft defense that we may encounter. Now, since this is early years of the conflict, 1981, Mujahedeen anti-aircraft defense is still relatively weak, and we don't expect much threat from it. It was only in 1986 that they began to receive large quantities of Stinger missiles from the USA, and that's when life of Soviet air crews became very, very difficult. On this flight we will be assisted by a pair of Sukhoi 17 fitters. Their task is to locate and mark primary targets for us by smoke. This is historically accurate. That's how they often operated in the early years of the conflict. Of course, we don't have an actual map of Afghanistan, so we use Persian Gulf as a stand-in, but I hope it's close enough. Anyway, all we have to do now is follow our navigation points to reach the target area. And we can see the mountainous terrain that is typically favored by pretty much any insurgent group fighting a conventional army. Now, Soviet units were really not trained for this kind of counterinsurgency warfare. They were trained to fight conventional NATO units, and then they were deployed to Afghanistan and asked to do something completely different, pretty much like Americans in in Vietnam before. It was a very, very similar situation. And we have now reached the target area. Bunkers that we are supposed to destroy are located somewhere in those hills ahead of us. Pretty soon we should be contacted by Su-17 fitters, informing us that they will begin the target marking. Okay, that's it. That's the communication. We will turn to the right a little bit so that we can observe from our left side. Now we should see orange smoke here somewhere. Oh, there it is. That's the orange smoke and that's the bunker. We will now send our wingman to make the first run, and we will stay at high altitude and watch for any anti-aircraft defense. If any of them makes an appearance, we will attack them with S8 rockets. Okay, the wingman is engaging the target. Somewhere behind us. Ah, there. Okay, wingman has attacked the primary target, but I am not sure if he hit. No, fitters should report. But just to be sure, I will make another run. And attack the primary target myself with S-24 rockets. I think that was a little bit too close, but let's hope Rocket was still able to arm and destroy the bunker. Alright, bunker number 1 was destroyed. Now we have to wait for the fitters to mark the second target for us. There it is. That is the second primary target. Now let's go around and make a pass. Okay, wingman will engage anti-aircraft defense that he spotted. And we will go for the second primary. range. Excellent. Okay, the fitters, Su-25 decided that both targets have been destroyed, and thus we completed our primary mission. We can now return to base. Approaching Shindan airbase. Now we're quite low on fuel. Actually, I think we're running on fumes now. We should have probably taken 2 additional fuel tanks instead of a couple of rockets. But let's hope it's enough. And we have successfully landed back to our home base. As I already mentioned, the mission was a success. We managed to knock out both bunkers, both primary targets. Now Soviet supply lines can go on uninterrupted in that particular area. Now I intend to make a couple of more missions based on the Soviet experience in Afghanistan, and they should get progressively more and more difficult, especially if you place them like after 1986, when large quantities of Stingers became available to Mujahedeen. Soviet aircrews were forced to attack from much higher altitudes, and their effectiveness was greatly reduced, and the casualties began to mount as well. The mission will be available for download. I will place the link in the video description. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the mission as well. If you want to play it, press the like button, subscribe, and keep watching Showtime 112.